Hello everyone, welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationship advice channel. So we're going to get into this Idaho story. Yes, we're going to get into this one. Okay, I'm going to read 2 articles and I'm going to also show a couple of clips. And to Brittany, hugs and kisses to you, beautiful. I miss you too, miss you too. So I'm going to show a couple of clips too. And, oh, hold it just a second. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to show a couple of clips. So we're going to get into what his parents have to say, his family. And then we're going to also hear about what the neighbors had to say. And then we're going to also hear about what his friends had to say about him. Very interesting. I'd like to go into deeper. I'd like to, hear about the different people that was around these crazy people. All right, so, and I'm also, like I said, I'm going to read 2 articles. So people who's watching it, please hit the like button, share the video out to your social media, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. So we're going to get ready to get into this. Hold a second. Oh, excuse me. We're going to get into this one. And do I have Mod on deck, strong in our house, hugs and kisses to you, and Happy New Year to everybody. All right, so let's start off with a clip first. And then we're going to get into an article here. All right. Let's show this clip first. Let's get it.
Bryan, did you do it? 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 The last time you came to Bryan.
This morning, Bryan Kohberger, the suspect wanted for the quadruple murders of 4 Idaho college students, preparing to be sent to Idaho after waiving his extradition rights.
Arrangements currently are being made to deliver Kohberger back to Idaho, where he can have continued due process and face these charges.
The 28-year-old criminology PhD student maintains his innocence as he prepares to face a judge in Moscow after appearing shackled and silent in a Pennsylvania courtroom Tuesday.
I just love the reporters. Bryan, why did you do it? Bryan, why did you do it? If anybody's a little lost, read the description. All right, resume.
Led by his mother and 2 sisters there, Kohberger appearing calm and emotionless during the 12-minute proceeding. As he left the courtroom, he mouthed, "I love you," to his family, his mother and sister sobbing. Kohberger and his father recently making a 2,500-mile cross-country road trip from his home in Pullman to Pennsylvania just weeks ago. On the way, they were stopped twice by Indiana police. New body cam footage from the first December 15th incidents released showing Kohberger being pulled over for following too closely.
It's a long haul. You guys scared of airplanes?
He was released with a verbal warning while driving that white Hyundai Elantra. Indiana State Police saying at the time of his stop, there was no information available on a suspect for the crime in Idaho or any specific information related to the license plate, state, or number of the white Hyundai Elantra. This as new details emerge about that early morning raid on Kohberger's family home on December 30th.
Force was used. The warrants were issued for evening search warrants, but obviously surveillance was conducted, and we wanted to go in at a time when we thought it would be the safest for everybody, safest for anybody else in the house, safest for Mr. Kohberger, and safest for our people.
The Monroe County District Attorney said part of the reason he believes Kohberger is in a hurry to return to Idaho is so that he can read that probable cause affidavit. Now, that is still expected to be made public after his first court appearance in Idaho, but noting that the judge did issue a gag order last night. So the attorneys and law enforcement involved in this case cannot comment until there's a verdict. Kana Whitworth, ABC News, Seattle.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read an article, then I'm going to show you some more clips. All right, let's get into this article here. Give me just a second. Hopefully I have it correctly here. Okay, this first article that I'm going to read, this one is from TMZ. Now, this came from TMZ. When did it come out? Oh, boy. I can't find it. Oh, it came out January 2nd, 2023. Happy New Year to everybody. And also, let me greet real quick the people that just came into the chat that I didn't miss. And I see Art up in here. Blessings to you and Happy New Year. And he said a vegan burger. Lord, I can't. Okay, and Snap a Girl. Hugs and kisses to you, beautiful. All right. Got her up in the house. All right, now let's get ready to get into this one. Excuse me. Okay. Idaho, this came from TMZ, and this came out January 2nd, 2023. Idaho murder suspect. Cops stopped. Let me turn down the music just a little bit so make sure everybody can hear me clearly. Okay. Idaho murder suspect. Cops stopped. Kohberger, whatever this monster's name is, twice during a road trip prior to his arrest. Bryan, the man arrested for the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students, was pulled over by the cops 2 times during a cross-country road trip with his dad, and soon before the Moscow PD named him as alleged killer. Bryan extradition lawyer Jason Labar filled in NBC about the traffic stop, saying that the 28-year-old and his father drove from Seattle to Pennsylvania over the holidays, but got pulled over twice in Indiana. Isn't this crazy? Got pulled over twice. All right, let's go. This is a short article. Labar, that's his lawyer. Labar isn't sure if a ticket was issued, but added, I just know that they were pulled over in Indiana almost back to back. I believe once for speeding and once for following too closely to the car in front of them. I'm going to also show you the body cam, so the 2 times that they got pulled over. So hang in there, ladies and gentlemen. He said that Bryan's getting updates regarding his allegations and claimed that he is still planning on waiving his extradition rights and pleading not guilty. They always want to plead not guilty, don't they? As we reported, Moscow Police Chief James Fry says that they are confident that Bryan is the killer of the Idaho students, believing that he will be extradited from PA, where he was arrested in Idaho. Chief Fry and Bryan acted alone. Chief Fry said that Bryan acted alone. Now, this is crazy. This is what I don't understand. If he acted alone, how the heck was this man able to do all this by himself? But they say he acted alone. I don't know. We just have to see. All right. Chief Fry said that he acted alone and believes that the community is now safe, admitting that the department was holding some of its cards close to the vest in their investigation. Moscow police came under scrutiny for not revealing any progress, but the chief says that they were hot on the trail. All right, so Tuesday he had like the court hearing, so I just showed you a little bit of clip of it, but I guess the cameras wasn't in the court hearing. All right, so we're going to show another clip. But this is crazy. How was he able to do all this stuff by himself? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, okay. You talking. What it says is, hugs and kisses. Give me the tea. That's wrong. That's wrong. Okay, Rusty says, a lot of snapping going on. Oh, might be me. Candy. All right. And coffee cake. I haven't seen you in a while, and blessings to you. I have questions. Oh, okay. I hear you. Bring the questions on. Okay. All right. Now, let's go and show another clip. Yeah, sorry for the smack. I had a little cough drop here. Try not to cough on y'all. All right. Let me get to the next one. All right, next clip.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.
Welcome to the Sunday News at 10. I'm Doug Petcash. The family of 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger, a suspect in the murders of 4 University of Idaho students in Moscow, released a statement earlier today on his arrest.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen clear what the family have to say, and I'm going to read a quick article on this one after the video. Let's get it. Resume.
The family expressed their condolences for the victims and said they'll, quote, let the legal process unfold, and as a family will love and support our son and brother. They also said, we have fully cooperated with law enforcement agencies in an attempt to seek the truth and promote his presumption of innocence. Kohberger is a graduate student at Washington State University in Pullman and works as the teacher's assistant in criminology. This is his mugshot. In an interview with NBC, the public defender representing Kohberger in the extradition proceedings says Kohberger will waive the extradition hearing and could be back in Idaho Tuesday night or early Wednesday. We'll have more from that attorney coming up in just a little bit. Kohberger is accused of the murders of Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. They were found stabbed to death in a house just off the University of Idaho campus on November 13th. News Channel 7's Abby Davis joins us now. Abby, Moscow police aren't releasing any details about what specifically led them to arrest Kohberger, and they're also staying tight-lipped about a possible motive at this time.
Doug, because police arrested Kohberger in Pennsylvania, the Latah County prosecutor says we won't get any of those details until Kohberger is back in Idaho and a judge unseals the probable cause affidavit. Until then, we're left wondering why the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. The answer as to who killed 4 University of Idaho students in Moscow may lie across the state line, less than 10 miles away in Pullman, Washington. 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger, a criminology student at Washington State University, has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary.
I am certain this is our guy.
Moscow Police Chief James Fry said during an NBC interview Saturday morning they can't share any details about a possible motive, why they focused on Kohberger, and how they tracked him to Pennsylvania, where police arrested him on Friday morning.
You know, we're sealed by what we can share right now, and that's a state law. And once we can give that information, we will.
Kohberger's public defender, Jason Labar, says his client intends to waive his extradition hearing set for Tuesday, which means that information might come sooner than expected. Once Kohberger is back in Idaho, a judge can unseal the probable cause affidavit.
Some of that will be just how fast can we, get the proper authorities to transport him here.
Labar told NBC on Sunday Kohberger could be back in Idaho as soon as Tuesday night or early Wednesday. He says Kohberger is well aware of the various stories about him circulating online.
I am giving him updates. I spoke to him this morning for an hour, last night for 20 minutes, really updating him on some of the allegations that are coming out, but mainly allegations that have nothing to do with the facts and evidence in the case, but really the cross-country trip. Just to clarify those type of facts as why he ended up in Pennsylvania and whether or not he was in Pullman at the time of the homicides.
Moscow Police Captain Anthony Dollinger told KTVB on Saturday it has been a taxing month and a half.
This has been a horrible tragedy for our community, for the University of Idaho, and absolutely for the families of these loved ones. And knowing that they were finally in custody was a celebration of sorts, but then also it's still sombering. You know that no matter what we do, having him in custody does not bring these 4 people back.
Just because Kohberger is in custody doesn't mean Moscow PD's work is done.
We are still investigating. We're still looking into every aspect, but we believe Kohberger is our suspect. We believe we have our man.
We got one more phase to go, and then the victory will be won.
Fry says they're looking for any information about Kohberger so that they can paint the entire picture and figure out exactly who he is. Moscow PD is asking people with information to call its tip line. And again, the facts of this case will remain sealed until Kohberger appears in Idaho court.
Abby, thank you for the update on where the case stands. And now we want to show you more of the interview with the public defender who is handling Kohberger's extradition proceedings in Pennsylvania. He is not defending Kohberger in the actual murder case. You can watch the full story on the interview tomorrow morning on the Today Show. Attorney Jason Labar told NBC that Kohberger's dad flew out to Idaho and drove back to Pennsylvania with him. He added that this was a planned cross-country trip for the Christmas holiday. In this clip, Labar talks about his recent conversations with Bryan Kohberger.
So I know you met with Bryan today. What's his mood like? Has anything changed?
Not really. He still has a very calm demeanor, asking questions about the hearing, seeing how his family is, making sure they're getting through this as best they can. He obviously has concerns for them, and really he's a little ashamed that they have to go through this process.
What's he ashamed of?
I think just putting his family through this, whether it's right or wrong or how it plays out.
Is he revealing anything about a connection to any of the victims?
No, again, I have not questioned him about the facts and evidence. Not being privy to any of that information, I don't really want to elicit any of that information. So he's not offering it because I'm not asking it.
Okay, I see. Well, I'm kind of curious, and I know you may not, I don't know if you can answer this, but there have been reports or questions about whether or not he was following at least one of those victims. Have you seen that, or what do you think about that?
Again, I take it with a grain of salt, reading what I do online.
Strong says something. Idaho felt it pressured to find the killer, so they got the first guy driving a white Hyundai. Interesting. I'm going to go back and read these comments. This clip is almost done. I'm going to read some comments. Resume.
And I'd really wait until the affidavit of probable cause is released to mention anything.
Who just creeped through the back door? 603 in the house, and blessings to you and a happy new year. I don't have enough information to call it yet. Ooh, okay, girl. All right, resume.
I don't want to make any type of assumptions. I don't want to guess. I wouldn't comment on it until I've had the opportunity to read the affidavit of probable cause and look at the evidence.
Okay. Do you have a gut feeling about whether or not he did this?
I do not. Really, my interactions with him are solely based on the extradition proceedings, and I wouldn't want to judge someone's character based solely on that.
Again, the Today Show will have more of this interview and story tomorrow morning starting at 7 o'clock right here on KTVB. The University of Idaho says it is keeping extra support and security in place for the remainder of the semester. Counseling services will stay available to all students over the course of the winter break and when classes start on January 11th. The university will also have classes in self-defense, vigilance, stalking awareness, and healthy relationships. They are also giving students personal safety devices, and they've increased the number of security officers on campus as well as patrol.
I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to do all this for the call, so this is really good. Counseling service through the winter break. Counseling service start for the semester. University classes is safety, providing students with safety devices. Oh, increasing security. This is good to hear. All right, let me go back to some of these comments real quick. And then we're going to get into another clip, and then I'm going to read an article. All right. Here you go, the beautiful students. Just going to college to be somebody in life, make their parents proud, make themselves proud, do right. And this piece of, well, we don't know he did do it. I don't know. All right. But let me get into the comments. Let me see what y'all have to say this. All right, let's go back. I'm going to go back here. What did I go back to? All right. Coffee Cake says, I love that, Coffee Cake. I want to see the gas station video where the car was. The gas station video. I don't think I have that one. I have to look that up. I don't know which one that is. Maybe it's on these videos I'm gonna show. And oh, Snap said the same thing. You too. Oh boy. I'm sorry if I don't have that one. All right. Rusty says, I don't 100% or even 75% believe it was him. Wait a minute, let me turn this down. He said it was him. I especially find it hard to believe that he acted alone. I haven't seen a deep look at his background. Lots of questions. Yep, I agree with you. There's lots of questions. I'm like, how did he do all this by himself? I don't understand. The first group of, came in there. I think it was the couple, right? The boyfriend and girlfriend came in. And the blood was all over the place. So the other ones, I don't know. It's just so many questions. All right. What was the other one? All right. And then Rusty also said is DNA. I didn't hear that. True. I didn't hear that one either. Unless I missed it. All right. Strong says a criminology student leaving DNA. All right. And Snap Girl says, I'm on the train of show me if he did it. I don't believe one way or the other. I'm going to need more information, evidence than we've been given so far. You got a point there. You got a point. All right. That was the ones I wanted to address, but I have other comments here. Let me read these other ones here. What did I? Okay, I think it was this one. Snap Girl says strong thinking. I'm pretty sly with the white guy. Okay. All right. And 603 says so happy to be here with you, Donna and chat. So happy to have you. I hope you had a great New Year's with your family and everything was good. And all right. So let me stop here. Let me read this article here, okay? So the article that I want to read. Now, this article that we have here. Now, this one came out in what? Fox News. Now, this came out of Fox News. Wait a minute. Where's the date at? Oh, whatever. Okay, well, this came out of Fox. Oh, there it goes. It came out January 1st, 2023. Idaho murder suspect Bryan family issues a statement after his arrest. Presumption of innocence. The FBI and the local police arrest Kohberger early Friday morning in Pennsylvania. The family of the suspect in the November 13th fatal stabbing of the University of Idaho students have finally spoken out after the arrest on Friday. Bryan Christopher Kohberger, 28, was taken into custody by local police and the FBI at 1:30 a.m. Friday in eastern Pennsylvania on a warrant charging him for 4 counts of murder and burglary at the death of Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Madison. I might be pronouncing wrong, so everybody just read the description so you get the names. We have fully cooperated with the law enforcement agencies in an attempt to seek the truth and promote his presumption of innocence rather than the judge unknown facts and make enormous assumptions, Kohberger's family said in a statement released by the public defender Jason A. Labar. The family said that they will continue to let the legal process unfold, and as a family we will love and support our son and brother. On behalf of the victims, Kohberger's family said that there are no words that can adequately express the sadness we feel, and we pray each day for them. We respect the privacy in this matter as our family and the family suffering loss can move forward through the legal process, the family said. Where am I at? The family said, okay, almost done here. Kohberger, a graduate student studying criminal justice at the Washington State University in Pullman, Washington, appeared before the judge Friday in Monroe County Court. Pullman is 15 minutes drive from the rental home where the 4 students were stabbed to death on November 13, 2022. Okay, so I'm going to show some more clips here. All right. Okay, it's a lot of clips I'm going to be showing y'all so we can kind of get an idea what the heck is going on. All right, I showed you this clip here. Well, I'll just let it just finish off.
For the latest information, follow us here on TV, also on our website, ktvb.com, social media accounts, and the KTVB app.
Okay, this clip here is the body cam clip. So we're going to watch this body cam clip. And I didn't realize today that there was another body cam clip. So I'm going to show that one too. But we're going to watch this first body cam clip. And my thing is, why the officer's camera wasn't correct? Really? Really? Okay, let's get to it. Resume.
I stopped you, man, when you were driving by me there, you're a little too close to back that semi. About one car between you and the back of this trailer. On that one car, you're 10 miles an hour, so you're going 60 or 70 miles an hour. You're about 6 or 7 cars. Oh, you guys did?
Yeah, and you said that.
You guys stopped by a trooper? We don't have any SUVs. It was a county guy. It was like a black.
603 girl. Yeah, this reminds me of a little bit of a Ted Bundy. If he's the one. But whoever it is does remind me of a Ted Bundy. Resume.
I guess you'd be. Yeah. Okay. All right. You thought you guys were following too closely? Today?
I'm done. What did Snap Girl say? Under 603, I was thinking, put glasses on him and we have the new drama. I can't with y'all. I really can't. Oh my gosh. And all it says, yeah, Ted Bundy seems more mature to me, at least at trial. Oh, I was watching some of those trial clips with Ted Bundy. He was a piece of work. Woo boy. All right, let's get back to it.
Well, I'm not going to give you guys another ticket or warning if you just got stopped. Just make sure you give yourself plenty of room, okay? So like I said, it's all about how fast you're going, okay? So if you're going 10 miles an hour, you only need one car. Or if you're going, so the speed limit here is 7. If you're going 70 miles an hour, you need 7 car miles. Yeah. That's the easy way to explain it. Yeah. Okay. It's really good in the B&B meal, it says 2 to 20 seconds. All right. You guys have a safe trip. Where y'all heading?
Thank you so much for
Where y'all heading to? Where at? Yeah, it's a long haul. You guys scared of airplanes? Okay. All right, well, hey, peace out, safe trip. Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, I have it on mute and I'm sitting here talking. All right, Coffee Cake says, do you think that he'll get bond? And if not, why not? My opinion on it, I don't think he will because the seriousness of this case. I don't think he's going to get bond. If he do, it's going to be extremely high. But we will see. All right, let's get back to it. So Strong, you feel that he'll get bond and just be high? Yeah, you probably have a point there, Strong. He'll definitely be extremely high. See, 603 said, this is what got me going. Is it possible a single person could take on 4 healthy young adults? I guess it could be done. See, that's the part that has me going. It's like, okay, if I have it right, like I said, I'm trying to understand, because this is like all over the place for me. You have two young girls, they upstairs, they sleep. 4 people get murdered, slaughtered downstairs. And nobody hears nothing. There's no screaming, no nothing, right? Then the couple, I think the couple was the first one to come to the home first. So if they come to the home first, and then one was a male, he didn't fight the guy off, and then the next girls come in, the 2 other girls come, it's just, something just doesn't add up about the whole thing. I really just don't get it. All right, let's go back. Yeah, 603, I do agree. His eyes are cold. No feeling. Yeah, I noticed that too. Alright, and Coffee Cake did go back. She says, I'll be interested to know exactly what questions the police asked him when they picked him up. That's a good one. And also Coffee Cake says, wow, I can't believe the public defender is talking. Yeah, and the way he was talking, that was a little bit odd to me. It's a little bit, oh well. Alright, Alright, let's get into the next clip. Interesting. The sister's 31 years old, is a counselor, and his mother sent a poem to the sister, wrote about the shooting to... didn't know that one. Alright. Okay, now let me show... let me let this clip finish out, and then I'm going to show the next one. Let's get it.
That is 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger walking out of a Monroe County, Pennsylvania courtroom after he waived his right to an extradition hearing.
You know, look at his face. There's no expression. It's just like dead. It's dark. It's because of his expression. That's why I feel that he probably is the one who did it. But I'm just trying to understand. The other two girls didn't hear it. Unless they had a couple of cocktails, they was passed out, they don't hear anything. Some people's hard sleepers. I don't know. But you're able to kill these 4 people by yourself? Are you that deranged? This is so confusing, ladies and gentlemen. I really just don't get it. And then Strong says something, a lot of pressure. So they just want to arrest somebody quick. Because, parents are calling up the school. They want to know what's going on. I send my child there. I want my money back. I want my money back with my child out of school. This is a big thing. You send your child to school. They're supposed to be safe. And they get killed like that? No. A lot of parents are not happy to hear that. They're not okay with that. I don't know. Let's get back to the clip.
That is 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger walking out of a Monroe County, Pennsylvania courtroom after he waived his right to an extradition hearing. He was in court about 15 minutes, long enough to have the process explained to him by a judge, to sign some paperwork and then walk out, as you see there. He also mouthed something apparently to his family as he walked past them in the courtroom. Kohberger is accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students on November 13th. Waiving his right to an extradition hearing today means Kohberger will be back in Idaho sooner rather than later to face those first-degree murder charges. We did learn today from the Pennsylvania State Police they knew about Kohberger being in their area a couple of days before they served the warrant to arrest him. They said maybe 10 people were made aware of the situation, and they held that information very close so as to not tip Kohberger off. There were 3 warrants issued, one for the suspect, one for the white Hyundai Elantra, and one for his parents' home where Kohberger has been since before Christmas. And given the nature of those warrants, wanted for the murder of 4 people, they served that warrant at his parents' home at night for the safety of law enforcement.
Had to pause. Mary Poppins says something. And welcome back, girl. All right, Mary Poppins says, I think that we have proof that he behind the bizarre videos online. I do recall seeing something a little bit about this, but not too much. All right, he tried to pretend that he was someone's relative who was on the case, but described the entire murders at length with details no one knew. Oh, Mary Poppins, she coming in, she popping in the scoop. Thank you, girl. All right, let's get back to the clip.
The suspect and, of course, his parents. And in doing so, they broke multiple doors and windows to get into that house in the early morning hours of last Friday. Now, other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of other information provided about the arrest of Kohberger by the state police or even the district attorney's office in Monroe County because of the sealed arrest documents. The DA's first assistant called Idaho's law quirky, the one about not releasing the probable cause affidavit until after the suspect appears in an Idaho court. And apparently those documents haven't been made available to Kohberger either.
But having read those documents and the sealed affidavits of probable cause, I definitely believe that one of the main reasons the defendant chose to waive extradition and hurry his return back to Idaho.
All right, so 603, you saying that he had to already be there in that house? Are you saying that you think that he had to visit the house, he's been there, or he was hiding out in the house? Oh gosh, there's so many questions, so many questions. Resume.
Was the need to know what was in those documents. So that's a significant development.
Interesting. The state police, when asked about the process to move Kohberger back to Idaho, Major Christopher Kohberger said it's not likely Kohberger will be on a plane by tonight, so it could be a couple of more days or so. But Abby Davis has been following today's developments and kind of looking into this process the past couple of days. So here we are. He's waived his extradition rights. Not likely going to be on a plane tonight, but what happens next?
Not likely, and that was something we did think would happen. Was he could have been back tonight, just in a few hours after his extradition hearing. But under Idaho law, he actually has 10 days to get back to Idaho. So a little bit of a rough timeline there.
Okay, Mary Poppins, you popping in some more stuff. Okay. If the kids were drunk, they wouldn't wake up. They were stabbed in immediately fatal spots first. So they wouldn't be able to fight well. That's something to think about, especially if they themselves were drunk / or high. Wow, so much to think about. That is something to think about. I didn't even think about that. Oh, mess. Resume.
At which he'll make his initial appearance in court, and after that initial appearance, then he will face the judge. He will be read his charges against him. Once again, that's the 4 counts of first-degree murder and the 1 count of burglary. And then at some point, the judge will unseal the probable cause affidavit, which we have been waiting for.
It was interesting to learn that today that Kohberger hasn't even had access to those documents yet, but that's where we're going to learn a lot of information about how he's connected to this crime, maybe possibly some motive, and maybe, we hope, some way that they were able to figure out that this is their guy.
Yeah, and before then, we didn't know any of that information. The facts of the case had been sealed, and that was something they alluded to today in the press conference, was that may be one of the reasons Kohberger waived the extradition hearing today, was to get back to Idaho and to hear those charges and what was specifically in that probable cause affidavit. Once again, could be a possible motive, or just, once again, those main facts about what led police to Kohberger.
One of the other things we learned today, we had confirmation that he will be using a public defender in Latah County. I believe a public defender from Kootenai County. Still waiting on confirmation from that. But the public defender that he had in Monroe County fully expects him to plead not guilty. Of course, that.
Okay, Art said something here. At Mary Poppins, true. It makes me think that he knew they would be drunk. Gosh, this is crazy. This is so much to think about. All right, let's get back to it.
That could change, but that's what we're expecting, correct?
Correct. So once he is back in Idaho and he has that initial court appearance, he has the right to a preliminary hearing, which he could also waive. So there are some options for Kohberger to take here. If he does waive that, then it would go right to a trial, in which case would obviously, or that wouldn't push the timeline back, but it just really depends. So lots of options there. And then Jason Labar, who was representing Kohberger in the extradition hearing, said that Kohberger believes that he will be exonerated. And will likely plead not guilty, so in which case would go to a trial.
Okay, so now we're kind of in that waiting phase of not knowing. We will not get any idea of when he's on his way to Idaho, by the way, because they said that's
And thank you for the channel blessing, coffee, cake, and hugs and kisses to you. Yeah, and I'm glad you enjoyed the discussion, because everybody's making me think of all kind of things. It's like all over the place. It's so many things to think about, right? Coffee cake, so many things to think about. And thank you for the channel blessings, and blessings to you, and Happy New Year. All right, let's get back to it.
for security reasons. They do not want that information out there, as you can imagine. So we're just kind of in a wait and see. But we do know that we were told by Captain Anthony Dollinger of the Moscow PD this last weekend that once Kohberger gets back to Idaho and is set foot in Idaho, he should be back in a Latah County courtroom within 24 hours.
Yes, so it should happen pretty immediately, and we'll get things rolling, and hopefully we'll know what led police to Kohberger. Once again, get some more details very soon.
And we do have a crew on their way to Moscow right now. So again, with anywhere from 24 to even the next 72 hours, we'll have a better idea of what's happening up in Latah. Abby, thank you very much. I really appreciate breaking that down with us.
Bring an Action News reporter in.
Okay, before we get into this next clip, all right, let me read some of these comments here. Let me go back just a little bit. And thank you, 603. Thank you. All right, let's go back. What was it? Yeah, Mary Papa said there's just too many. That's weird to not question everything. Exactly. Everything has to be questioned. All right. And 603 says, all of you have great points. I appreciate everybody's point of view. Ooh, girl, I do too. Because it makes you think. I love it. All right. And Snap Girl says, Art, he's being a crime student. He knows to hit the vitals first to keep everyone silent and maybe succeed. Right? That's something to think about too, because he's a crime student. This is insane. I don't even know where to go with this. This is so many. Just plain devil's advocate. Girl, I'm with you too. Alright, let's see what else. Strong Hat said is, reporters. Bryan, Did you do it, Bryan? I know the cage bird. I know why the cage bird sing. Ooh, you went there with the sewer rat thing. Okay, let me see. What else? Did I miss anything? Alright, strong host Daryl Brooks forever the butt of the jokes now. Yeah, he's a joke too. That Ryan O'Neal, was it Ryan O'Neal? His name is Ronnie something. He was another clown that represented himself. I might show some clips on that one. And he, whoa, I don't even know why the judge let him walk around like that. I guess every state have different rules. All right, let's get here. 603 says, yes, he has been watching that house. We definitely know whoever it is had to been watching. Nobody just walked past and said, hey, let me go here and pick this house to kill. They've been watching their pattern. Is the report a kid? Uh-oh. Thank you again, Coffee Cake. Rusty says, I'll say it again. You have to be a forensic genius to kill 4 kids with a knife and leave no forensic evidence behind. Got a point. Alright, Coffee Cake says to him, Rusty, but you think that they would be more DNA. Oh, who just creeped through the back door? Did Melanie just creep through? Yes, she did. Happy New Year. Good evening, Donna. Just being real, this is going to be a crazy case to follow. That said, I haven't decided guilt either way as they have released 0 evidence. I know this is crazy, right, Melanie? It's just insane. It's just insane. Where do you go? Where do you go? All right, let me show some clips here. Oh, wait a minute. did I skip somebody's comment? If I did, I don't mean to be rude or whatever. And shout out to the people that's in the bushes. And make sure everybody please hit the like button. Hit the like. All right. Did I miss something? If I miss anybody's comments, excuse me. I'm not being rude. Not to be disrespectful, but the little girl reporter looks like she's all at 12. Didn't she look like it? She sure did. She sure did. How this is insane that she did. Oh, they got my purple heart. Thank you, Melanie. They got my purple. Oh, the reason why I push with purple hearts, I know it's a lot of people is kind of like new to my channel. The purple hearts, the reason why I have is for domestic violence. And it's also for narcissist abuse. That's why I put up purple hearts. I don't put all the purple hearts just because, I love purple. Actually, it's okay. My favorite color is pink. All right. But I put up the purple hearts for reasons, for domestic violence and for narcissist abuse. And that's why I always do the purple hearts. So now and then, y'all throw out the purple hearts. Don't worry about, emojis on my channel. I don't care about all the emojis. Put as many emojis as you want. Okay. But throw out the purple hearts. All right. Now, what else did, Rusty says, I haven't heard of a DNA. If they don't have the smoking gun, then he'll get bail. Oh, that's how it goes? Interesting. Oh, okay. And Mel said, oh, wow, I didn't know. Yeah, that's why I do. I'm glad you put out the purple hearts. I meant to tell people here because I didn't know if everybody knew about it, but I have the purple hearts. That's why I always do the purple hearts. It's for domestic violence and for narcissist abuse. That's why I put that out. Because purple's not my favorite color. It's okay. But pink is my favorite color. I didn't know. We just send love. Yes, love. Thank you. All right, let's watch another clip. Now, what is this clip here we're going to see? What did he know about the suspect? All right, guess we'll hear a little bit about it. Let's just watch this clip. I just got a couple of clips in because I don't even know what angle to go with here. It's just so many questions of what's happening. We just don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's resume.
Andy McCormick live at DeSales University in Center Valley, Pennsylvania tonight. Andy, that's where the suspect recently got a master's degree. His field of study there now seems an eerie one.
Yeah, Brian, that's right. He completed his undergraduate studies here at DeSales University in 2020, and then he received his master's in criminal justice here just this year.
DeSales University releasing a statement today about former student 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger, seen here graduating with a Master of Arts in Criminal Justice. Kohberger was arrested this morning.
He don't look too happy about getting his master's degree, do he? But I don't know. Maybe it's just a camera angle. Maybe they paused it up like that. But just no smile, no nothing. You work hard and I don't know. This is something I noticed in this video. All right, let's get back to it.
Justice. Kohberger was arrested this morning on 4 first-degree murder charges for the stabbing deaths of 4 Idaho University students as they slept in their beds on November 13th. DeSales University acknowledging the arrest and his affiliation with the university as an undergrad graduating in 2020 and a graduate student completing his degree in June 2022. His name is listed here in the 2022 commencement program. DeSales saying this in part in a statement, quote, "As a Catholic Salesian community, we are devastated by this senseless tragedy. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims' families during this difficult time." Sources tell ABC News investigators are looking at this Reddit post, actively recruiting criminals as part of a school study to understand the psychology of those who commit crimes. It was written by a user named Bryan Kohberger and linked to a survey of detailed questions. And the small community around the Catholic liberal arts school also reacting that a possible brutal killer was walking amongst them.
It's definitely a little scary, and it's spooky to think about someone in the community being here for years and just having no idea. We, both of us, have definitely spent a decent amount of time on the DeSales campus. We run there all the time. Yeah, it's just really weird to think about, you know.
And Bryan, according to authorities, he was actually continuing his studies at a school that was not far from the crime scene where those Idaho students were killed. As for DeSales University, they have sent out an email to all students and faculty saying if anybody needs counselors, they will be available. For now, reporting live in Center Valley, Annie McCormick, Channel 6 Action News. Bryan.
Annie, thank you. And
Okay, let me read this one before going to the next clip. Coffee Cake says, they said that he worked as a security at the old high school. His mom was a substitute teacher and a teacher's aide. They said that he was always top of the class. Thanks for sharing that. Interesting. Okay, let's get back to it.
That's really the question, isn't it? Is we're trying to answer who Bryan Kohberger is, the man who moved from Pennsylvania to study in Pullman, and what could have possibly been the motivation behind stabbing 4 unsuspecting undergrads.
This is the face police in Moscow say murdered the 4 University of Idaho students. Now Bryan Kohberger is in custody, arrested in Pennsylvania this morning as we try and learn more about him. The 28-year-old attended Northampton Community College, where he made the dean's list at least 2 semesters, then graduated DeSales University in his home state of Pennsylvania with a master's in criminal justice. This fall, he moved to Pullman to begin his first semester at Washington State, seeking a PhD. Some of those that knew him in school describe him as professional, nice, mature. Bizarrely, his prior research includes this, a survey targeting responses from criminals asking how they committed their crimes, with prompts like, why did you choose that victim? Before making your move, how did you approach the victim? And how did you leave the scene? At DeSales, one student says she was approached by Kohberger in the library to take another different kind of survey.
He was there for, I want to say, like 2 weeks. Like I saw him like walking around the library, and I thought that was weird. I was like, how many people do you need to survey? It was like a numerical scale with like.
To everyone that's come to here, welcome to Donna Just Being Real. Make sure you hit the like button, share it on your social media if you like, and feel free to engage, or you can just sit back and listen, whatever you like to do. Let's get back to it. Resume.
Like some questions, and like I believed it was like about empathy, to see like how empathetic like a person is. Like, would you help a person if like this happened, or like if they cause a situation, would you still want to help them or feel bad for them?
Junior Megan Burns says even her and her friends were captivated by what happened across the nation in Moscow.
We all locked our bedroom doors at night. Like I live in an apartment area on campus, and like our apartment locks, but like one night, like we were all watching videos, and like we all got super scared, like because we were all following like the whole case. And then like one night we're like, you know what, everyone's locking their own bedroom doors tonight. Like we're just so freaked out. The fact that like like I met him like on multiple occasions. It's like, it's insane. Like I can't even wrap my head around it.
And the latest I've been able to confirm tonight is a remarkable element to this alleged crime. Kohberger did, in fact, return to class and even continued serving as a teacher's assistant in Crim J 302, a criminal law course. According to multiple students after the November 13th murders, Kohberger was still around in class acting as if nothing happened. From the newsroom tonight, Zach Anders, Fox 13 News.
Bryan Kohberger.
Before I go into the next clip, if this is all true, that he did do it, and he's acting like nothing happened, this is definitely a psychopath. 100%. Well, whoever did it is a psychopath, but he's definitely a full-blown psychopath. All right, let's get back to it.
Is set to appear before a judge this week following his arrest in the Poconos. He's accused in the murders of 4 University of Idaho.
I'm sorry, let me pause again. Let me read the poll real quick, okay? Let's see how many votes. We have 26 votes. Okay, good amount. All right, do you think Bryan Kohberger did it? 35% says 26 votes. 35% says, of course, Donna. 15% says, not sure. And 50%, I'm waiting for the trial to decide. Woo! Yeah, we have a lot of people saying, we need more evidence. Let's see what the prosecution is gonna pull up. Let's see what the defense is gonna say. Gotcha. All right, let's get back to it.
Idaho students back in November. Well, tonight, the Kohberger family has released a statement following the news of his arrest. ABC's Xana Whitworth has that, plus what a childhood friend had to say about the suspect.
Tonight, Bryan Kohberger's childhood friend Thomas speaking to ABC News, describing the Idaho murder suspect as mean in high school, saying Bryan was eager to be seen as dominant.
He would just put me in, he would grapple me and put me in headlocks and arm bars and stuff like that.
Kohberger's family releasing a statement which reads in part, "First and foremost, we care deeply for the 4 families who have lost their precious children. There are no words that can adequately express the sadness we feel. We have fully cooperated with law enforcement agencies in an attempt to seek the truth and promote his presumption of innocence." The small community in Moscow terrified for weeks after roommates Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin were found stabbed to death in their off-campus home in mid-November. Kohberger's lawyer saying Bryan's father flew from his home in the Poconos to Washington State for a pre-planned cross-country road trip back home to Pennsylvania for Christmas in that white Hyundai Elantra.
Driving cross country took them approximately 2.5 days. Mr. Kohberger indicated that Bryan was acting normal and not out of character on the drive back from Washington.
The car seized from the Kohberger's home after Bryan was arrested early Friday morning. The Monroe County Chief Public Defender Kohberger is eager to return to Idaho and be exonerated. Police in Moscow say they're confident they arrested the only person responsible for the murders. Still, they're searching for a murder weapon they describe as a fixed blade knife. The police chief saying the community has a name and a face, and now they're hoping more people will come forward with information.
We have a lot of work to do still. We still have a lot of pieces we have to put together. That's why we're still asking people, if you have known this individual, contact us.
And Chief Fry telling me that within an hour of releasing Kohberger's name, more than 400 tips poured in. Kohberger's lawyer also confirming to us that he remained there in Pullman, working towards his PhD until mid-December. He's now set to face a judge in Pennsylvania Tuesday and is hoping to be quickly extradited to Idaho after that. Xana Whitworth, ABC News, Philadelphia.
A suspect in the 4 Idaho murders was arrested in our area.
Okay, we're going to hear some more what friends had to say about him and students, stuff like that. All right, resume.
Area. Newswatch 16 spoke to someone today who says they knew him personally. That's our top story tonight on Newswatch 16 at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Chelsea Strube. We begin tonight in Monroe County with the arrest of Bryan Kohberger, a suspect in the murders of the 4 Idaho college students. Newswatch 16's Emily Kress spoke to one woman who says she knows Kohberger personally.
The arrest of 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger rocked the nation, charged in connection with the murders of 4 Idaho college students. For people like Casey Arntz, the news of the arrest hits close to home. Her mom calling to break the news.
And she said the person they arrested was Bryan Kohberger, and immediately I freaked out naturally. I went back inside work and I called about 8 of my friends because it was terrifying. It was a shock because there's literally 7 billion people in this world and I know him. I was friends with him. Like, that's terrifying.
Arntz lives in Virginia Beach but grew up in the Poconos and attended Pleasant Valley High School. She tells us she became friends with Bryan Kohberger through her younger brother during their time in school.
We just hung out and talked, and that's what it was. It wasn't anything crazy, just a typical friendship.
Arntz says she hopes his arrest will shed more light on the case for the sake of the 4 victims and their families.
I don't want to think about what even happened out there. I just want the families to have clarity. I want them to have some type of just answers to questions that they don't have. And I know that we won't get those answers, or they won't get those answers until they actually hear from him. And the police release that information. And it's just, I want them to have clarity, and I want them to be able to have peace after all this is said and done.
Kohberger remains locked up here at the Monroe County Correctional Facility. Emily Kress, Newswatch 16, Monroe County.
Now this clip here is a student of his. So let's hear what he has to say. Actually, I didn't get a chance to watch this one, so I'm watching with y'all. All right, let's get it.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, I was, just like sleeping here on the couch in my parents' house, and I woke up to all these tweets that were like, oh, they got the guy. And of course, this has been something that everyone in Pullman has been following, everyone in the whole Pullman, Moscow area. And so, I look on my phone and I see the guy's name and I see the picture. And I'm thinking, that looks a lot like my TA who's also named Bryan, but that would be crazy. And so I went and I checked my email, to see the emails I'd had with him and the name matched and everything. And yeah, it was just like totally jarring, totally shocking to realize that this person that had been, kind of grading my papers was, allegedly this horrible murder. Entirely. All our interactions came in the formal class, and not even like, office hours. Like, it was all within the confines of a lecture hall. He was pretty strict as far as grading goes. When he came into class, he was very, not super mentally present. He would stand up at the front, look at the ground. He had a lot of like boilerplate responses he would give people rather than, maybe something he had thought up on the spot. It seemed like he would be, he'd come in knowing what he was going to say to like most interactions. And then when he would grade your papers, he would be grading you on what he ended up calling like a higher standard. But what it really felt like to us was he was grading us like he would have graded himself as a PhD student. And so that was just kind of like, we were all annoyed by him. And so I knew his name, I knew like, oh, TA Bryan, like he sucks at this. Like he's grading us too harshly. And that was like an annoyance. But obviously beyond that, we just thought he was a little weird and kind of, a bad grader. Yeah, he actually only left me good comments, which is just kind of silly. Like the only ones I could send in were nice ones, but for most people, he was being pretty harsh in the comments. I just, for whatever reason, he was being pretty good to me. Yeah, actually, we had, our professor was big on the idea that like, if we're all going to be attorneys someday, then we have to know how to argue our case. And so he scheduled a day where everyone, came in ready to argue to get their grades up, and he brought in Bryan and he was like, all right, go at him. And he had Bryan stand up and everyone was, like a few people were on his side because they wanted to keep their high grades and not like have questions be cut out or whatever. But for the most part, it was like, half of a 150 person class just asking him all these real critical questions and he would answer. And he'd actually, he tried pretty hard to defend himself, which was the kind of thing that our professor loved. He wanted the like courtroom environment. And so, so there was just a period of class where we were all sort of arguing about this. Not, I mean, it wasn't like yelling or anything, but it was certainly conflict, you know? Yeah, we just it would have been about a month before winter break when like the murders happened. And we didn't obviously build our framework for this around that because we had no reason to connect him to that, you know, at the time. But definitely around then, he started grading everybody just hundreds, not like you pretty much if you turned something in, you were getting high marks, and he stopped leaving notes. It was just you know, he seemed preoccupied is what I would have said at the time. And now obviously he seems like he was probably pretty preoccupied, but it was, yeah, it was much easier. You'd turn in whatever you wanted pretty much. And he was just grading them up and sending them back. Like,
What Rusty said was just so true. What if it turns out a group of serial murders groupies got together to commit an act? Serial murderers have groupies. It's so sad. These people do have groupies. They have people as followers that love them and worship them. You have women that just love these serial killers and they be dying to marry them. It's sick. It's really crazy. All right, let's get back to it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. He probably that I saw, he was always a little bit spotty on whether or not he'd come to class because he had, you know, whatever PhD stuff over the top of it. But the couple times that he did come after or around that time period, I remember him, you know, he had like a little bit more facial hair, just like stubble, but definitely less like well kept than he was. And he was a little quieter. You know, he didn't, he used to stand up at the start of class and like talk about some stuff sometimes. And this time he didn't really do that at all. He was definitely, I think, like the previous like mental preoccupation that we had been noticing where it was like, you know, he didn't really want to be there. That was at like an all-time high. And he just, you know, didn't look like he was doing great.
Big national story tonight. A suspect has been arrested in the murders of 4 University of Idaho students.
We have team coverage for you, starting with Chris O'Connell in Pennsylvania, where that arrest.
Okay. Snap said, Charles Matt, well, God, I can't even say his name, whatever, the crazy guy, Charles, he had the girls who did the crimes, he didn't do it himself. All right, Rusty says, Snap Charlie never killed anyone. Yep, he sure didn't. He didn't have to, so true. Alrighty, now, Coffee Cake says maybe he was focusing on his classes. That's why he wasn't focused on their classes. Maybe he was bored with the papers the students wrote. Something to think about. Alright, Art got something to say. I can't murder some Lucky Charms. Where's my groupies? I can't. Yep, 603. He's a mess. He's a mess tonight. All right. Snap Girl says, Rusty, nope. His groupies did it for him. I don't care how charming someone is. I'm not shaving my head and crawling down the streets after my friend slaughtered so many people. Exactly. Nobody's convinced me to no crap like that. It's just not happening. All right, let's see what this clip is. The neighbors are shocked. Yeah, something with the neighbors. Let's see what they have to say here. Let's get it.
Was made.
28-year-old Bryan Christopher Kohberger charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. He is a resident of Washington but spent time with his family here in the Pocono Mountains in a community about 65 miles outside of Philadelphia. Here is what we know. A SWAT team with the local police department assisted by the FBI rolled up to this gated community in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, and took Kohberger into custody early this morning without without incident. He was charged with the November 12th slaying of 4 University of Idaho students. They, of course, were found stabbed to death in their rental home near campus. It is a case with more of a mystery than anything else, since few details have been released. Well, today, officials in Idaho say they believe Kohberger, with ties to northeastern Pennsylvania, was the sole suspect.
These murders have shaken our community, and no arrest will ever bring back these young students. However, we do believe justice will be found through the criminal process.
A little more now on Kohberger. He was a resident of Pullman, Washington, a PhD student at Washington State University, and got his criminal justice degree from DeSales University back in June. He's currently being held in the county jail, awaiting extradition back to Idaho. In Monroe County, Pennsylvania, Chris O'Connell, Fox News.
The arrest in the Idaho murders has stretched from coast to coast.
The suspect arrested overnight in Pennsylvania, and police in Washington State have spent the day combing through his apartment, which is right near Washington State University.
And that's where Jennifer Dowling from our Fox Seattle station is tonight. Jennifer, thanks for joining us. What have you seen there?
Well, we've seen investigators going in and out of the apartment behind me all day and night. There is some tape still up. People are not allowed to go into that section of the complex, and we've been told by a neighbor that that is where Bryan Kohberger lives. That neighbor was extremely surprised that he was tied to those 2 murders, and the community is just reeling tonight.
I can imagine there's a lot of reaction in that area as this murder case has really shocked the nation. And there's been a lot of fear in that area. Jennifer, can you talk about some of the reaction that you've seen? I can imagine there's a lot of relief where you are.
There is, especially in the community of Moscow, Idaho, and there's more shock here in the Pullman area because I don't think anyone on campus here suspected that it would be a student at Washington State University. So that has come as quite a surprise, of course, for the students on this campus and those who actually knew him at this apartment complex here. And meantime, a great sense of relief in Moscow, Idaho. Students were afraid. They were trying to take precautions to keep themselves safe because nobody knew who the suspect was in this case until today.
All right, Jennifer Dowling live for us from our sister station in Seattle. Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Strong says something to think about. The police have to have something on this man. I can't believe they would charge him with murder and not have something on him. Like I said, so many questions and now no answers. I just don't understand how one person could do all this by themselves. Is this man really demented? Everybody was so drunk. So when you're drunk or high or whatever, intoxicated, your defenses is down. I mean, it's just so many things. Oh yeah, and I love me some Lucky Charm cereal. Oh my God, so good. Yeah. And I don't know. And Coco said the Lucky Charm marshmallow is so good. Yeah, I love me some Lucky Charms. If I eat cereal. Not too much cereal person, but if I do, like Lucky Charms. Alrighty. Now, I think I have 2 more clips. Basically, it's the body cam. So let's just watch this and I'll let y'all go. Alright, let's get back to it. Resume.
Hello. How you doing? How y'all doing today? Good, good. Take a look at your driver's license real quick if I could. See you.
Now let's say if it is him and he got pulled over, imagine what he was thinking. Imagine he was thinking. This is crazy. All right, let's get back to it.
He's right up on that van, man. He was right up on the back end of that van. Pulled you over for tailgating. Is this your car? Okay. Cool. Where are you headed?
Well, we're coming from WSU, and we're standing early after
What's WSU?
University, basically. That is SWAT team and everything.
So we're okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the traffic. So you're coming from Washington.
Yeah, it's tailgating. That kind of tripped me out too. Interesting. But that is annoying when somebody's up on your tail like that when you're driving. That is definitely annoying. All right, let's get back to it.
Washington State University? Yeah. And you're going where? Oh.
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're slightly punchy because we're driving for hours.
Hours, days.
Hours. We're driving. Well, almost a day.
Okay. And what did you say about some SWAT team thing? Or
Yeah, there was a mass shooting and everything.
Where?
This was
Interesting.
Well, it's horrifying because he's supposed to be university, you know what I mean?
So y'all work at the university there? Or?
I actually do work there.
Oh.
PhD in criminal.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that incident. Just yesterday, or?
No, this happened this morning. About an hour and a half ago. We're still wrapping it up for investigating. I'm not sure there's two shooters because they did shoot somebody.
I see.
And then we don't know about that actually. They were there with shooting out of the window or something.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So do me a favor, don't follow too close, okay?
Oh,
all right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Recording.
I think it's the same clip, but let's just play. It's about 2 minutes. I'll be done.
Hello.
How you doing?
How y'all doing today? Good, good. Take a look at your driver's license real quick if I could. See, he's right up on that van, man. He was right up on the back end of that van. Pulled you over for tailgating. Is this your car? Okay. Cool. Where are you headed?
Well, we're coming from WSU, and we're scanning early.
What's WSU?
I go to university, basically. That is SWAT team and everything.
So we're okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the traffic. So you're coming from Washington State University?
Yeah.
And you're going where? Oh.
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're slightly punchy because we're driving for hours.
Hours, days.
Hours. We're driving. Well, almost a day.
Okay. And what did you say about some SWAT team thing? Or
Yeah, there was a mass shooting and everything.
Where? Interesting.
Well, it's horrifying because he's supposed to be university, you know what I mean?
So y'all work at the university there? Or?
I actually do work there.
Oh.
PhD in criminal.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that incident just yesterday.
And that's another thing. Someone that worked so hard and been in college for this many years, paying all this money, student loans and everything, for a PhD, and you would just end it like this? Did he do it or did he not? Or maybe he just thought he was going to get away with it. It's just crazy. Let's get back to it.
Yesterday or?
This happened about an hour and a half ago. They're still wrapping it up for investigating. I'm not sure there's two shooters because they did shoot somebody.
Let's see.
And then we don't know about that actually. They were there, they were shooting out of the window or something.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So do me a favor, don't follow too close, okay?
Oh,
all right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay. What did Art said something said did his dad say it was a mass? Yeah, he said something about a mass shooting. It was hard for me to make out, but he did say something like that. He did, Art. Okay, and Coffee Cake said something. Oh my gosh, the information he is talking about is crazy. You just answer the questions when you get stopped. Going home for Christmas. This is insane. Mod on deck, Jack. Hugs and kisses. Alright, well that was all the clips that I want to show y'all, ladies and gentlemen, this evening. But I'll follow up on this one again and get more into whatever comes out. But I really appreciate everybody, sharing their thoughts and opinions. Because it's just so much to think about. Like, did he do it? Did he not? Can he do this by himself? Were they just trying to hurry up to arrest someone because, due to the fact there's a lot of pressure, the press is on them, parents are calling up the schools, this is serious. So they want to get it over and done with. And why would someone, be in school for all these years and you would just throw it all away? You just throw it all away and do this? Or maybe your little sick butt just figured that, hey, I'm a psychopath and I'm going to get away with it. I don't get it. And I just feel sorry for these beautiful, young people. They was just going to school to be something in life and, doing a good thing. Instead of being out here acting like fools and not trying to do anything with their lives, but they were. And it was all taken away by a madman. Or madwoman. We don't know. Or several people. We just don't know. But I will follow up on this one. And let me see. What did Rusty have to say for ending? You don't have to answer anything on a traffic stop. Something new. I didn't know that one. Okay. All right. Snap Girl says, Rusty, don't answer any questions, period. Melanie says, so many questions, right, Melanie? It's so many. It's just so many. It's so many. All right, and tomorrow I'm supposed to be doing something with Andrew Tate. I might change it because I don't know for sure if I'll be able to do it tomorrow evening, so it might be changed. Just stay tuned. Make sure check my community post so you can be in tune. And anybody wants to contact me, feel free to read the description. Email me and go from there. If you have any views requests or need any coaching, anything like that, and we'll go from there. And also, I'm going to get into some other old trials too. Something I'm going to show on Sunday. Crunch and Munch Day, Sunday. Yes. A trial too. It's an old trial that happened last year, but it was very interesting. All right, and to the green, night and night to you, Snap Girl. Night to everyone. Hugs and kisses. Absolutely never answer questions. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so everybody had themselves a blessed night and a safe one. Thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and opinions. And thank you for the blessing to the channel. I really appreciate have us all thinking like, hey, what can it be? But we know one thing. They did not deserve to die. Only God can make that call. They did not deserve it. So rest in peace. Let's have a moment of silence.